The Lumia 640 XL is Microsoft's first attempt at a Windows Phone phablet. It builds off one of Nokia's first phablets, the Lumia 1320, with a similar styled body and similar specs. However, the Lumia 640 XL comes with a slightly smaller 5.7-inch screen versus the 6-inch screen of the Lumia 1320. It still carries the same 720p display, giving it a PPI of 259 pixels per inch. Since we're talking about the screen, it's worth mentioning that the Lumia 640 XL brings back one of my favorite features on Lumia phones, and that's glance screen, which is the always-on screen which gives you your time and notifications at a glance without having to touch the phone. And I never really realized how much I miss it until I stop using my Lumia 930 and go back to a screen that has glance on it. So kudos to Microsoft for including it. In terms of the actual design of the Lumia 640 XL, there's nothing wrong with it. It feels very nice in the hand. It's actually quite slim, weighing in at 9mm thin and 171 grams. However, the design does feel quite cheap. It doesn't feel like it was built by the same people who built the Lumia 930 or the Lumia 1520. In fact, it feels more like a Nokia X device with the cheaper plastic, rougher edges than the smooth, warm polycarbonate that Nokia were so proud of. My other design qualm with the Lumia 640 XL is unfortunately the lack of a physical camera button. I can live with the on-screen soft keys for Windows navigation, but a physical camera shutter button is almost essential for me in my devices. I hate having to access the camera through the Action Center. Something about having to press an actual button to capture an image makes the photography process feel a lot more personal. Speaking of the cameras, the Lumia 640 XL has an amazing 5-megapixel camera, which takes some really impressive videos, as well as some nice stills. The main camera on the Lumia 640 XL is no slouch either, with a 13-megapixel sensor that takes some pretty impressive images. However, they always seem to lack detail when completely zoomed in, or maybe it's just that I've been spoiled by the likes of the Lumia 1020 and 930. The Lumia 640 XL comes with a mid-range quad-core Snapdragon processor running at 1.2 GHz. You never actually realize that it's a mid-range processor. That's because the Lumia 640 XL is very efficient in its processing. In fact, during our gaming performance, it performed admirably well above expected, with almost no issues when gaming, except for the random game shutting down in the background while playing another game. In terms of software, the Lumia 640 XL comes with Windows Phone 8.1 Update 2, upgradable to Windows 10 of course. The only real feature worth mentioning in Update 2 of Windows Phone 8.1 is just the new reorganized settings menu, which allows you to quickly jump between sections, but it still needs some work. The battery on the Lumia 640 XL is a humongous 3000 mAh battery, which is more than enough to last you throughout the day on moderate usage. Of course, these estimates on screen are without it being my daily driver, but needless to say, I didn't have any problems with the battery. Besides the battery, you also get a expandable microSD slot to add on to the 8GB of internal memory. The microSD slot can take up to 128GB of storage, so be generous when buying your SD cards. Overall, the 640 XL is a really impressive device, and I really like what Microsoft have done with it. It has a beautiful screen, good processing power, and most importantly, the cameras are really impressive. The 5-megapixel front-facing camera is amazing for selfies, and the 13-megapixel camera on the back is quite impressive as well. It feels like Microsoft have flipped Nokia's switch, where design came before processing power. But in the Lumia 640 XL, the design is the part that's lacking, while the actual internals of the phone and the specs are amazing. So my only problem with Lumia 640 XL is just the cheaper than premium feel to it, and the lack of a physical camera button. Of course, these are some trade-offs that are usually expected in mid-range devices such as the 640 XL. So if you're looking for a phablet that has some pretty impressive specs, I highly urge you to consider the 640 XL. Thank you for watching, guys. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys around in the next video.